Hello all, welcome to Smart Classes. In this lecture, we will basically learn how to approach paper 6 of group 1 and paper 4 of group 2. So, here is group 1 paper 6 Telangana State Public Service Commission. So, basically, paper 6 has 150 marks. There are total of 15 questions and each question has 10 marks, that is 150 marks. So basically paper 6 can be divided into three different sections. Section 1, 2 and 3, and each section can be divided into 5 different topics or chapters. Basically in the paper we get two questions from each chapter and we will be given a choice. That is, we can choose either one or two and answer one question. That is, in each section we get 10 questions and we need to answer 5 out of 10 questions. So basically we need to read all the chapters and we need to be thorough with all the chapters, and we can select any question which we are comfortable with. That is, the maximum we know about the topic, we can write it better. Knowing the facts is not enough for group 6 that is group 1 mains or group 2 mains, group 2 basic exam. So knowing the facts is definitely not enough. We need to get into the topic and we need to know the in-depth conditions and reasons of the topic. For example, if we take 1969 Telangana movement, knowing some important names and years is not enough. We need to know the reasons for the 1969 movement and the injustice done to the Telangana people and the results of 1969 movement, judgments taken after that. So, the maximum you know, the better you can write the answer. So, knowing each and every topic in depth is really, really, really important. Firstly, we will discuss about the syllabus of the paper. As I already told you, the paper can be divided into three sections. And the first section is the idea of Telangana. Basically, why did Telangana people wanted a separate state? And what was the injustice done to Telangana people? And this section covers the time period of 1948 to 1970. And as I already told you, we have 5 chapters in this section. The first chapter is the historical background. Historical background is basically the period before 1948. That is during the rule of during the rule of Nizams. Nizams were basically under Britishers. So basically, during the rule of Nizams, what are the geographical conditions? Historical conditions. Geographical conditions basically cover the area under Nizam's agricultural issues, etc. And then comes the historical conditions, political conditions, that is administrative conditions, that are decentralization, centralization of administration, and different kinds of reforms in case of political administration comes under political background before 1948. And then economical conditions. As you know, Nizams were really rich and they maintained subsidiary alliance with Britishers. So, what happened during the subsidiary alliance? What are the financial conditions prevailing? And how much they lose in maintaining the Britishers' army? All these things are discussed in the economical background. And comes the next chapter. Next chapter is basically Hyderabad in the independence of India. That is, once Hyderabad got independence from Nizams and it was consolidated into India. What are the conditions prevailing? That is, from the period of 1948 to 1956 till the Hyderabad state was merged into Andhra Pradesh. And then comes the third chapter, that is the formation of Andhra Pradesh. Formation of Andhra Pradesh took place in 1956. In this chapter, we will learn different issues regarding the merging of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. That we will learn about State Reorganization Committee and Gentleman's Agreement, which was the most important agreement which was signed between the people of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. This agreement is also known as Pedda Manchula Agreement in Telugu. So basically, these are the three chapters, and comes the next chapter, which is violation of employment rules by employment rules and services by people of Andhra. Employment rules and services by people of Andhra. We will discuss about there were many rules which were framed in the gentleman's agreement, and there was a Telangana TRC, which was formed during the formation of state of Andhra Pradesh, which was given the authority to look after all the employment rules are being followed in a possible way or not. But TRC was of no importance after the formation of Andhra Pradesh. No one cared about TRC, and there were many issues regarding the employment. That is, people of Andhra Pradesh have been entering into the state of Telangana, into the area of Telangana, and taking all the jobs of Telangana people illegally and violating all the employment rules which were framed in the gentleman's agreement. And the next chapter is the formation of Telangana Praja Samiti. The formation of Telangana Praja Samiti took place during the 1969 Telangana movement. In this section, we'll basically learn about the Telangana 1969 Telangana movement, how did the movement go, causes of the movement, and various issues regarding the Telangana movement. And then comes the next section, which is section 2. This phase is basically known as the mobilization phase, which is between 1971 and 1990. The first chapter in this phase is Court Judgment on Mulki Rules. On Mulki Rules. This chapter deals with the rules which were framed after 1969 Telangana movement. After 1969 Telangana movement, to uh, suppress movement and not giving separate Telangana for Telangana people, there were few rules established by the then Andhra Pradesh government. By the then Andhra Pradesh government's chief minister was Kasubramanian Reddy. Basically, he uh, uh, he played an active role in framing these rules. But there were people of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana who filed court cases on these rules, and these rules basically were declared void by the High Court and Supreme Court eventually. So we'll be discussing about these things in the second phase, which is known as the mobilization phase. And the next chapter is rise and extent of Naxalite movement. So basically, as the Telangana people were suppressed, there were many Naxalite movements in the Telangana region. Among In this chapter, we will basically discuss about the causes for the formation of Naxalite movement, and then the consequences of this Naxalite movement. And then the next chapter, which is emergence of regional parties. That is, there were many parties formed by Telangana people in order to ask for separate Telangana or Telangana people ruling themselves. Till 1990, there were many parties which were formed by the people of Andhra Pradesh, that is, the people of Andhra, mostly from Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra, and these people were ruling Telangana. But in 1990s, there were many regional parties which were emerging in the Telangana region. Coming to the next section, section 3, which is the final phase of the Telangana movement, that is the formation of Telangana state. This phase basically covers 1991 to 2014 till the state of Telangana formed. And the chapters involving this phase, first phase is public awakening. That is making people, normal people, understand that formation of Telangana is required for the reforms reforms in life and employment of Telangana people. So the first phase is public awakening, and then comes the next chapter, which is Telangana Rashtra Samiti formation. That is the TRS, which is the governing body in Telangana right now, has come into limelight in 2001. We will learn about the TRS party, its formation and the causes for its formation, and the actions taken and the important people behind the formation of TRS in this chapter. And the next section, which is role of political parties. That is, what is the role of different political parties in the Telangana movement? How did these political parties help Telangana people to get separate state? And the next chapter is cultural revivalism in Telangana. Cultural revivalism in Telangana. This phase basically deals about the Telangana culture, which was not given importance during the rule of Andhra Pradesh people. That, for example, let us take Batukamma festival, which was not even celebrated or shown in news or criticized for celebrating with flowers during the when the state was combined. But after the formation of Telangana state, we can celebrate our festivals. That is, the people of Telangana can celebrate their festivals with their own with their own concern and the government backing. And the next chapter deals with parliamentary process, which was involved in the separation of Telangana from Andhra Pradesh. That is, division of different resources, different resources regarding capital, and there are many issues which were which require parliamentary, let us say the high court, capital for, same capital for 10 years, division of water, electricity, etc. All these things are discussed in the last the last chapter in the parliamentary process. This chapter also deals with how did the separation takes place. Was the bill to be passed in the parliament, or the states need to give the concern before the passage of bill? All these things will be discussed in the parliamentary process. So basically, thank you for listening, and I think I would be helping you from tomorrow by teaching different chapters, and mostly in 30 to 40 days we will finish the paper 6 of group 1. I am taking this course because I want you to be ready whenever the group 1 exams uh, will put their notification. You must be ready, because once you are good with these three sections, these are the very simple sections involving their own history, that is the Telangana history, which we need to know basically. So once you know all these sections in detail, you can clear the exam easily. 150 marks are yours. Basically, less learning and more marks. Once you have these 150 marks guaranteed, you can concentrate on different papers. If for example, if you take the paper of Indian polity, there's a lot to learn. But in case of paper 6, there's not so much to learn. But once you're thorough with everything, you can get 150 marks very easily. So please follow the coming lectures, and also read any standard book you want to with the lectures, so that you become thorough, that keep revising, keep making notes. Your notes, when you revise, you'll remember everything. So I'll definitely suggest you to make notes. So finally, thank you for listening.